everyone, it's Sally with the Polka Dot Life. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Plaid Tidings suite of products. There are of course great plaid papers, some fun stamps, and a great ribbon that goes with a lot of our different colors. Stick around to the end of the video and I have a few additional cards to show you, one that might be expected with a fall suite of products and one that probably isn't. The Plaid Tidings suite of products is found on page 56, 57, and 58 of our holiday catalog. On page 56, Stampin' Up! Does a great job of showing us some different cards and tags featuring the stamp set, the dies, and the papers. Here on page 57, it reminds us that you do save 10% when you buy the stamps and the die cut set in a bundle. On page 58, it shows us the images that are in this stamp set. And like I say, it's a wide variety of holidays. And I wanted to show you this. I didn't feature any Christmas things today, but these are great for all those little gifts that you send to people over the holidays. And that's for Christmas and for Halloween. You could do those for treat bags as well. Right here, they show us the entire color scheme that they use to plan this suite. And here, if you are interested in ordering everything, you can just use this one number to order it, and then you don't have to enter all these other different numbers. So I just wanted to point that out to you today. This is the card that we are going to be making today. And it's just a fun card. I don't normally send a lot of Halloween cards. I generally just give one to my children. And I have a close friend who really likes Halloween, so she may be getting this card. But I just wanted to, this has some different techniques in it that we haven't talked about, and so I wanted to do that with you today. There are several pieces involved with today's card, but don't let that intimidate you in any way. You don't need to worry about measurements. I will have those all linked in the description box below. Let's start out by gluing some of our plaid paper onto our card base. And this is a double-sided paper, but of course we are going to be using the black today. And let's just put a little bit of our multi-purpose glue around the edges. And then we want to just have a little border and show some of that gorgeous grape. I don't often use this color. I'm not a super big purple person, but I do like that, like the lime and orange and purple combination. It's kind of fun. And on this particular card, the inside shows through to the outside. So we are going to take this small strip and we are just going to put some, I don't want a ton there, put some glue around the edges. And we are going to put this right up against the edge here of that inside layer of our card. And then this is going to fit right inside. The only thing we do want to kind of make sure is that this inside layer kind of lines up with, just make sure we get it lined up pretty good with this other layer, just so it kind of is cohesive going across there. And again, want a little bit of that purple showing around there. And so we'll just give it a little rub and make everybody happy. You can even flip your cardstock over and give it a rub with your bone folder. I don't like to do it on the main surface because sometimes you can get a little shiny mark. But that's kind of fun. We're going to put this off to the side for a moment. let's start out by doing a little stamping. Just wanted to let you know that these two are the smallest two in the die set. So we have our Whisper White layer, and I want to do the Cobweb in Basic Gray. Let's just get that nice and inked up. And just somewhere along that bottom area is what we're shooting for. Nothing needs to be exact. I did not want to do that in black because we have a spider to add, and our spider needs to be pure black and it needs to stand out against that spider web. Let's bring in our gorgeous grape ink and our sentiment. And it says, "Happy Haunting." I am not a super big, like, ghosty kind of person, but I like to have some Halloween fun, but it's just all in fun. It's nothing that I get super into. But we're just going to put that towards the top of our tag here. Perfect. Next, we're going to do a different technique, and I want to do it before I put that black spider down. And we don't do this very often. I have an aqua painter. That is our old style of aqua painter. And I have an acrylic block. This aqua painter is filled with rubbing alcohol. And let's see here. I just want to protect this work surface. That's why I didn't change out my grid paper on my Stampin' Pierce mat, because I knew that we were going to be making a little bit of a mess today. But that's okay. It's fun that way. So we have our pumpkin pie ink because we need a little bit of something in here. It's kind of stark white and I didn't really want that. So we're going to take this little ink block here, and you don't need a ton, but we're just going to pull some ink onto that block. And I am going to go ahead and put this away so that we don't mess up my ink pad. And we just take the cap. We have aqua painters, but they've actually improved our aqua painters. And so there are some different sizes and different brush tips in the set now. But we're going to take our alcohol and we are just going to squeeze a little bit, and it takes it a little bit. Kind of have to prime that a little bit and get some of that flowing. Now, you don't need it to be like a lake, but how thin you have it, how hard you tap. I am going to put actually a Kleenex down here too, just so that if we have any drips, we don't mess up our surface, or if I need to take some of this liquid off of my brush. We are going to take our bone folder, and we are just going to take this and we are going to start further away till we kind of see what the splatter pattern, where it's hitting, how big our dots are, and then you can get a little closer if it's not coming out as much as you want. You can always add more, but you can't take it away. And this will dry a little bit lighter than what it appears right now. But it's just a fun little technique just to add a little, you know what, I think I want a little bit more over in this area. There we go. Going to move this off here. And I think maybe I managed to do that without getting it all over myself, and that is a pretty good feat. I will take this to the sink later here, and we'll just squeeze some alcohol out through that, it will clean it off, and then I will give it just a little swish under some running water just to make sure that that is all cleaned off. Now we're going to bring in our Memento Black ink pad, and we're going to get our little spider. I do have a new ink pad coming because I like, when I've said, when I have a black image, I like it to be crisp black. You can re-ink these, and I usually do, but sometimes it's just better to chuck it and start all over again. So we are going to put this little spider somewhere like in this general area of the web. And I like to hold it there just to let all that black ink transfer. So cute. Love it. And while we have that out, we're going to just take this away and let it dry for a minute. Those ink things, especially since it's alcohol, it should dry pretty quickly, but we just want to make sure. And then I'm going to take this again. And you know what? I do need my mat under here. This one, especially with it being black, it really does a lot better when you have that little bit of cushion. And here is the spider in the corner. Now, if you are really wanting to, you could even take your little end of your black marker and just make a little web like they were hanging down from the web. That would be super fun too. Now we have our pumpkin pie layer, and we are just going to put a little bit of glue on here. In this one, I don't want to go overboard with the glue, but we do want enough that we can slide it around because we do need these little indents and whatnots to line up pretty well. It might look a little odd if we didn't take time to line those up, but it went really quickly. One of the other techniques that I wanted to show you was I meant to order the new gems that are kind of a iridescent black color. Like I say, I don't do a lot of Halloween things, but I was told that those actually go lovely with some masculine cards and whatnot. So I forgot to order those. So we are going to take our pearls and our Stampin' Blend. That is the alcohol-based marker. Again, we are going to be careful because we're going to use this end, the brush end, and you don't want to damage that. So, but did you know that you can take these pearls and use your marker to color these to be any color that you want with our markers? If you have the marker, and it's got some fuzz stuck in it, I'm sorry, these already have adhesive on them, and you kind of have to get down around that bottom, but you just want to make sure you keep making sure that that nib isn't getting stressed too much and that you keep bringing it back to a straight position, you know, that you just kind of work out that tip so it's laying straight. And like I say, these are alcohol, so they dry pretty quickly. I might let these dry for just a few minutes and I'll be right back. I'm going to add a second layer of color because you can build on this. Anything with your alcohol markers, you can let it dry and then come back in and either blend it in a different color or just take the same color and make it darker. While our pearls are drying, we can go ahead and put our label on the front of our card. And for this, I like to use tear and tape just because people will be lifting, somebody be opening and closing that. And as I've told you before, I am just notorious for putting glue on the whole thing, and then I've ruined my card. Yes, it still happens. So we are just going to flip this over. We know that anything on this half is going to be stuck down. So we can just put a few pieces of our tear and tape there. This is just so handy. You just don't even need scissors with it, which is why they call it tear and tape. But it is great for those 3D projects and just something where you need it to be neat or you need it to have a little bit more strength. All right. And I didn't bring my take your pick tool up over here with me, but we can just take our snips. These are a great purchase from the catalog. I have to tell you, these are so inexpensive. And I have a pair for cutting and I have a pair for cutting ribbons, just because you need that to stay super sharp. And these ones, of course, get adhesive on them and everything else. But they are so worth the investment. So we are just going to take this and kind of center it in the card, because once it's down, it will be down. And with the stripes, we just need to make sure it's straight. But isn't that a cute, sweet little card? Okay, I took a minute to grab my take your pick tool while our gems were drying, our pearls. These have adhesive on the back, and sometimes it sticks out the bottom. So you have to just pick it up. And sometimes you might just have to take a hold of it and push that adhesive back down. Just, you know, they're a manufactured product, and sometimes there's just a little bit of that adhesive hanging out. But let's see here where I want to put that. I kind of like to put them in this swirly area. I'll put the big one there. I like to put the bigger ones toward the bottom. I just feel like it weights it better. And that one doesn't look too bad. And let's put that one right here. Then we will just take this one, and these are the ones that are a little tricky sometimes to get that, like I say, just that adhesive colors too. So that's why we're taking the time to just kind of bend that back down around there. And let's just put one up here above our H. So it comes together pretty quickly. It's just a simple little fun fold, but it shows off our paper so nicely. And then for the envelope for this one, like I say, I just did a simple little spider, but you absolutely could also decorate the flap of your envelope as well. I want to bring in the other cards that I made today. This one is what you would probably think of when you think of a traditional fall card with the plaid. This ribbon is so easy to work with. It really ties nicely and it's pliable. So you could fray out the ends, I suppose, if you wanted to. I didn't try that, but I certainly think that that would happen. I did this one on some Whisper White Thick. I stamped and then I colored using my Stampin' blends. And just use some shaded spruce to give it a little definition. And then on the inside, I just did the shaded spruce and put a pumpkin in the corner. I decorated my envelope flap using the Plaid Tidings paper and put a pumpkin on the front. Now this last card might be a little bit unexpected. The colors are shown in the list, but it's not something that you would typically maybe think that was going to be in with this plaid paper. But I did this just as a generic thank you card. Well, not generic. I guess it would probably be for a woman, or it could be for a man who likes gardening and whatnot. but I just used it and stamped Always Grateful, and I made a triple bow. I don't know that I would do the triple one again, but I would probably do a double one. And then I just used a strip of that plaid paper on the inside, and I decorate. I didn't put anything in the corner here, but I did use the plaid on the envelope flap. And this one, this die is from the Ornate Borders die set. I just thought that it was kind of fun, a little bit unexpected with this plaid paper, but I just thought that they were so fun. I had a great time playing with these. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you get notified every time that I upload a new video. As always, remember to be kind, send a card, and do something creative. Bye-bye.